Today we are going to use our hands-on equations, and we are going to practice some of the things we learned prior. For instance, we have two cubes, 0 through 5, which are low cubes, two cubes, which are high cubes, 5 to 10. We also have our pawns, which represent x, an unknown value. Okay? And we have our balance. Both sides have to be equal in order for our balance to be equal and remain even. Now, with our first example, I'm going to set up the equation 4x plus 2 equals 3x plus 9. So what that looks like is 4 pawns and a 2 on one side of our balance, and 3 pawns and a 9 on the other side of our balance. Now normally we could do guess and check and solve this balance equation, finding out what the pawn represents. Because there are a lot of pawns, guessing and checking will take a long time, and mathematicians are lazy, so we don't want to do anything that takes too much time. So, would you like to learn an easier way of how to solve this rather than trial and error, guess and check? Alright, now what happens if I remove a pawn on this side? What do I need to do so that the balance remains even and equal? That's right, I need to remove a pawn on this side. So I'm going to set the pawns that I remove right in front. I removed one from this side and one from this side. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. Are we still balanced? Now let's do the same thing again. Now I have a simpler equation. X plus 2 equals 9. This reminds us of our first problem on our worksheet last week. So what is x worth? 7, because 7 plus 2 is 9. Now let's go back and check our original equation. So we would return all the pawns on both sides. Okay? 4x plus 2 equals 3x plus 9. Now 4 pawns, or 4 7s, is 28. Plus 2 is 30. 3 7s is 21. Plus 9 is 30. So 30 equals 30. Our original equation works because each pawn is worth 7. Now what I did here to remove pawns from both sides is called a legal move. It is legal if you remove something from one side, then you can remove it from the other. And as long as both things that you removed are equal to each other, then what's remaining on our balance is also equal. Alright? So, as long as I remove the same from both sides, these are called legal moves. Alright? So I can carry out these legal moves until I get a simpler equation and can solve. Let's try another one. Let's start with 5 pawns on one side plus 2. 5x plus 2. And we're going to set it equal to 2 pawns plus 14. Now to make 14, I'm going to use a 10 cube and a 4. This does not mean 104. It means 10 plus 4, which is 14. So I have 5x plus 2 and 2x plus 14. Now, legal moves. I can remove pawns from both sides. And as long as they are both equal to each other, then my equation stays equal. Now I have 3x plus 2 equals 14. Okay. So let's guess and check. Let's try 2. 2, 4, 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 does not equal 14. So I'm going to bump it up a little bit. Let's try 4. 4, 8, 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 is equal to 14. So we believe that the pawn is worth 4. Now let's go back to our original equation to check and see if I get the same thing on both sides. Now I have 5 4s. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. 2 4s, which is 8. 8 plus 14 is 22. So 22 equals 22. My equation is balanced and my pawns are worth 4. We've just proven it and justified it. Let's try another example. We'll start with 2 pawns on this side, plus a pawn, plus 4. Now let's try 4 pawns on this side plus 1. 2x plus x plus 4 equals 4x plus 1. Well, 2x plus 1x is 3 pawns, or 3x. Now I'm going to do a legal move. I can do the legal move again. I can do the legal move again. I'm left with 4 equals x plus 1. So what plus 1 gives me 4? I think it should be 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Let's go to our original equation and check that our pawns are worth 3. So I have 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 1 is 13. On this side, I had 2 x's plus an x. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 4 is 13. So I have 13 equals 13, which is a balanced equation. All right, now you're going to try the same on your worksheet. Please make sure you are using your mats, and when you have your mat flat, when you do a legal move, okay, and you want to figure it out, make sure that when you move those legal moves, you just move them down onto your mat. So you need to push anything you're not using off of your mat, and that way your mat is showing your original equation, your legal moves, so when you're ready to check, you can put your pawns back to the original equation, okay? So make sure that you are leaving only the pieces you need for the equation you're working on your mat, and your legal moves, move them below the balance line on your beam, and your legal moves are down below. Okay, so if they come from this side, just move them down here, and if they come from this side, move them down here. All right, remember legal moves, you would have something in both places, because whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. Okay, thank you.